headlines. Bandits attack NDA, kill 2 officers, abduct 1. Fulani leaders demand compensation to the families of travelers recently killed in Plateau State. Chief of Army Staff tells soldiers to make efforts in ensuring peace and stability in the country. And on the foreign scene, Egypt flies over 40 of its nationals out of Afghanistan. Hello, welcome to Trust TV News Update. I'm Zainab Bala. For more news, connect with us across all our social media platforms. Lieutenant Commander Wulah and Flying Lieutenant CM Okoronkwo are said to have been shot dead when bandits invaded the NDA barracks in the early hours of Tuesday morning. Daily Trust further gathered that Major Datong was kidnapped while Second Lieutenant Ona sustained gunshot injury and is currently receiving treatment at NDA hospital. Bandits in large number killed the Navy officers when they invaded the Afaka barracks of the Nigerian Defense Academy in Kaduna. A reliable source within the barracks told Daily Trust correspondent that security has been beefed up within and around the area to stop the bandits from escaping with other officers. Katsina State Governor Aminu Masari has recently asked residents to defend themselves against bandits' attack. However, the attacks have not abated since. At the weekend, bandits killed 12 persons and injured 6 in Duba community in Batsari local government area of Katsina State. Daily Trust correspondent Tijani Ibrahim gives us an update on the situation.
Armed men suspected to be bandits attacked Duba village of Batsari local government area of Katsina State on Saturday, killing at least 12 persons and several others injured. The bandit, a resident of the area who craved for anonymity, said the attackers came around 9 p.m. Riding on motorcycles, and they started shooting sporadically immediately, where they killed at least 12, and then a lot of other people sustained gunshot injuries. Some are still missing because the residents of the village fled for safety. Some went to Basari and some to a non-destination. Another resident said when they came, they raped women, they set shops and houses ablaze, and they roasted animals as well. Confirming the incident, police spokesman in Katsina SP Gamba Isa said the attackers were carrying sophisticated weapons such as rocket-propelled grenades, general-purpose machine guns, and what have you. But Isa said investigation is ongoing into the matter. He said a team of police and the soldiers, the military, are working assiduously to ensure that the perpetrators are arrested and brought to book. Attacks of this kind is on the increase recently in Katsina, contrary to a few weeks ago when there was a reduction of banditry and other criminal attacks of this nature.
Elsewhere, gunmen killed 4 people and abducted 50 others in Goranamai town in Maradun local government area of Zamfara. Police in the state confirmed on Monday. The command's public relations officer, SP Muhammad Shehu, made the disclosure to newsmen in Gusau. Shehu said the attackers, who came in large number, invaded the town around midnight on Sunday, killed 4 persons and abducted 50 others. He, however, said that the police tactical operatives had been deployed to the area. According to him, CP Yakube Elkana has ordered immediate search and rescue operations for the victims. The PPRO said that the CP had urged the residents of the area to remain calm as the command was working with other security agencies to maintain law and order in the area. Fulani leaders in the southwest demand compensation to the families of Fulani travelers recently killed in Plateau State. Sarkin Fulani of Lagos and Chairman Council of Fulani Chiefs in the southwest, Abubakar Bambado, and the Sarkin Fulani of Abeokuta, Muhammad Kabir, in an interview with Daily Trust correspondent Abbas Dalibi, also asked the government to bring the perpetrators of the killings to justice.
Muna kira gwamnati su gaggauta fito da wayannan mutanen da suka yi wannan abun, kuma su kuma mutanen da iyalansu da wannan abun ya faru da su, muna kira gwamnati su ba su diya, wayanda kuma suka ji rauni gwamnati su ɗauki nauyinsu. Kuma wannan abun yana faruwa a koyaushe. Muna fata gwamnati a wannan lokaci za ta hukunta su, don saboda a baya irin wayannan abubuwan suna faruwa babu hukunci, shi yasa mutanen da suke duk irin wannan abun, don ba yau suka fara wannan abun ba. Mu muna kira da 'yan uwa su yi haƙuri, kar su ɗau wato doka a hannunsu, su yi haƙuri mu ga abin da gwamnati za su yi.
Guidance from the highest quarters in Nigeria, the Sheikh Tahiru Bauchi spoke, and the presidency himself assured Nigerians that those evil perpetrators will never go scot-free. And the Plateau State governor even assured us that they have been made, some arrests have been made, about 26 of them, and some at large will still be arrested. On which, when we had that, we assured the state governor that there won't be need of any reprisal attack from the community of Fulani, either in Plateau or anywhere in the country by the special grace of God. We will wait and see and expect the law to take its course on those evil perpetrators.
Debate has been raging since the reported surrender of many Boko Haram fighters in Borno State. Military authorities said the surrendered insurgents will be treated as prisoners of war. But many Nigerians feel that those who take up arms against the state should rather face prosecution. Dr. Yahuza Getso, security and intelligence investigation expert, speaks to Trust TV via telephone call.
The implications are many, but we can narrow it into looking at it in some perspective. One, social perspective. Two, economic perspective. Three, psychological perspective. And then four, the regional perspective. So what I mean by social perspective here is, these are the type of people that are used to a kind of social life that had to do with killing, slaughtering, raping, shooting, and use of arms in attaining something that they don't even understand what really the concept is all about. Because what they said as they proclaimed is that they are fighting the cause of jihad, that is Islamic revolution or Islamic jihad. So they didn't even understand, most of them, if you look at them, you listen to them, it is only they're being overshadowed by their leadership. So the leadership probably knows something about Islam and something about jihad and something about Quran and probably some of the instructional materials from other Islamic books and Islamic thought. So they build a kind of antagonism and a kind of terroristic thought and mind that have a very stumbling block. So they had been away from the normal people. They were living an abnormal life for a certain period of time that you can say probably some are 13 years old in that life, some are 10 years old, some are 12 years old, some are even older than that, some are 3 years old. So they have been neutralized, their psychology has been neutralized into something else, which is not really the Islam. Because you cannot be a Muslim and go to a mosque and kill people and say Allahu Akbar. You cannot be a Muslim and go to church and kill people and say Allahu Akbar. Islamic doctrine is not in any way allow the killing of either Muslim or non-Muslim.
Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya has charged officers and soldiers to continue to be professional in their handling of security issues in the country. Yahaya gave the charge on Monday during a visit to troops of the 2 division headquarters in Ibadan. The visit is part of the Chief of Army Staff familiarization tour formations in the country. The Chief of Army Staff, who donated a Hilux vehicle to the Regimental Sergeant Major Unit of the division, eulogized the late former Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Atahiru.
It's usual after I assume command to go around and see the troops on the ground. It's not as if we don't know what they are doing, but it's a military ethics to visit the ground and see and interact with the troops and see firsthand what they are doing and speak to them also and address issues that you will see on the ground.
Yahaya also paid a courtesy visit to Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State and commended him for his support to the Nigerian army.
Well, I am in 2 divisions as a part of my operations visit. It's indeed my maiden operation visit to 2 divisions since I assumed command at the Chief Army Staff Nigerian Army. I have addressed officers in the auditorium. I have now just addressed the soldiers, appreciating what they are doing and urging them to even do more, and also urging them to now continue to do things professionally in tandem with our teachings, with our training.
Makinde pledged to continue to support the security agencies in their effort to rid the state of all forms of criminal activities.
They have been supporting us. So I want to plead that we continue in that cooperation between us, and as a government, we can give you the assurance that we do everything humanly possible and within the powers that we have as a government to provide support and also to cooperate, with yourself.
Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says 135 persons have died in Lagos from COVID-19 during the 3rd wave and not 500 as being speculated. Sanwo-Olu, who provided the COVID-19 update, said about 1,000 passengers from the red zones with high Delta variant cases have absconded. The governor said the state will start administering 299,292 doses of the Moderna vaccine it got from the federal government on August 18, 2021.
We received a total of about 299,992 doses of Moderna on the 18th of August. And they announced that they were going to give us 601,000, but not giving us the entire 601,000 based on their own logistics. At the federal level, we received just a little over 300,000 right now. And I'm happy to announce that from Wednesday, the 25th, we'll commence the vaccination at over 150 centers across the states. We'll start the vaccination there. Increase in the number of centers compared to the first round of vaccination is because we want to prevent gathering of a crowd in large number, and to ensure that even the vaccination program itself does not constitute a super spreader event. So we brought up more vaccination centers so that people can keep social distancing and they don't need to go there and get it.
Nigeria Center for Disease Control says Nigeria recorded 565 new COVID-19 cases and 8 deaths. The NCDC stated this on Tuesday, saying that this brings the total infection since the index case in 2020 to 187,588. The NCDC attributed the surge to the highly transmissible Delta variant and low vaccination rates across the country. The center also said that 8 COVID-19 related deaths were reported on Monday, bringing the total fatality figure to 2,276. The NCDC stated that the new cases are reported in 13 states and the FCT. Federal government plans to inaugurate a national environmental sanitation response intervention to the cholera outbreak in Kubwa, Abuja, currently the epicenter in the FCT. Dr. Muhammad Abubakar, Minister of Environment, disclosed this on Monday while briefing journalists on the outbreak.
It is with great sense of urgency and duty that I have called this press conference today to sensitize the media and the general public on the cholera outbreak in the country and the effort being made by the Federal Ministry of Environment to contain the scourge. As you are aware, Nigeria is currently experiencing cholera outbreak in several parts of the country with reported cases of fatalities. The ministry has requested the environmental health officers in the state and local governments across the country to intensify their effort in carrying out sanitary inspection of premises and abatement of nuisances that could result in diseases outbreaks such as cholera, Lassa fever, and the rest of them.
You're watching Trust TV News Update. Coming up after the break, speakers highlight modern-day exploitation. This and more after the break. Stay with us.
My name is Samuel Dada. Yakubu Isa. Ana mana kabila jeje. Anyani Musa. A wannan harkar ce muke dan samun abinci. Har muke taimaka mu wasu da yawa. Looking for private jobs. Sometimes you get employed and the process of payment, you undergo some kind of stress.
Hello and welcome to Showcase. On Showcase, we are going to be delving into the lives of emerging entrepreneurs across the country.
My calligraphy is Arabic calligraphy. I had written the Quran, the complete Quran, before reaching the age of 12.
From professionals to artisans and even social media influencers, I am going to be taking you on a journey to show you the beautiful, the motivational and the resilient nature of Nigerian entrepreneurs who continue to thrive irrespective of the challenges they face in the country.
Showcase, coming soon on Trust TV.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Now let's take a look at our top stories. Bandits attacked the permanent site of the Nigeria Defense Academy, Kaduna, killing 2 officers and abducting 1. Gunmen killed 4 people and abducted 50 others in Goren-Namai town in Maradun local government area of Zamfara state. Still ahead, People's Republic of China has pledged to work with Nigeria to fight and win the war against modern-day slavery. Li Zhongza, cultural counselor of the Chinese embassy in Nigeria, made the commitment on Monday in Abuja at the commemoration of the 2021 International Day for the Remembrance of Slave Trade and its Abolition. The theme for this year's commemoration is Modern-Day Slavery, a national question protecting the future generation.
The abolition of slavery is the major advancement in human society. As we are aware, in contemporary times, new forms of slavery have emerged, especially the modern days concealed and undefensed forms of slavery.
2014, I finished on Auchi Polytechnic as a civil engineer. I looked for how to get washing machine to start laundering business for myself. So I started doing laundry business for myself. So there's this one good customer of mine who travels a lot. He goes to Dubai, he goes to Spain, he goes to Italy, Torino. So when he comes back, he normally gives me his clothes to help him to dry clean. And he told me that he's willing to help me to travel abroad to get to that Europe and make plenty money.
That it is my sincere hope that the campaign against modern-day slavery does not end here today. I wish to task the media organizations to ensure the message is sustained on air and that it reaches the nooks and crannies of Nigeria so as to create the needed national awareness on this menace.
Nigeria joined the rest of the world in commemorating the annual International Day for the Remembrance of Slavery and its Abolition. The theme of this year's celebration is Modern-Day Slavery, a national question protecting the future generation. Speakers at the event at the National Press Center, Radio House in Abuja, highlight human exploitation during the slave trade days and the need to end modern-day replica of the past exploitation. Trust TV's Nafisa Abdullah reports.
The Atlantic slave trade, transatlantic slave trade, or Euro-American slave trade, which began in the 16th century, involved the transportation by slave traders of various enslaved African people, mainly to the Americas. Although slave trade became illegal and was abolished in the 19th century, it still has not stopped. In Nigeria today, modern slavery exists and manifests in forms of child labor, human trafficking, forced marriage, death bondage, among many other forms. To commemorate the International Day for the Remembrance of Slave Trade and its Abolition, Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, Dr. Ifeoma Anyanwutakwu, urged the audience to look out for signs of modern slavery in the society today, be cautious and aware.
It's against this backdrop that it is my sincere hope that the campaign against modern-day slavery does not end here today. I wish to task the media organizations to ensure the message is sustained on air and that it reaches the nooks and crannies of Nigeria so as to create the needed national awareness on this menace.
Secretary General NATCOM UNESCO, Mr. Olagunju, says slavery is not simply a matter of history, it's also manifested today in different forms. He calls for the protection of victims and survivors who have managed to escape the ordeal.
Slavery is not simply a matter of history. It also manifests itself today through descent-based servitude. While victims and survivors should also be empowered and protected.
Although majority of human trafficking or slave trade victims are lured or tricked into slavery, Christian, a survivor, says he voluntarily went down that route in search of greener pastures.
I actually made up my mind to travel to Libya when life was being more realistic to me and it was being difficult. So I just decided to say, okay, since this is another way forward, let me give it a try so that I can seek for greener pasture. And at the end of the day, I ended up being in prison for like 1 year plus, and it was tough.
The program had in attendance school children in a bid to sensitize them on modern slavery, its causes and effects.
I learned a lot of things by all the people, the testimonials that came to talk about themselves, and it was actually a lesson for everybody in the world. Like for example, in Nigeria most especially, because we are actually people who are emotional, and people actually come from outside to come and take us and for granted and sort of things, and because we feel like okay, because there's something that's actually going on in Nigeria, that's maybe poverty. So because of this poverty, they're taking us, using us as laws to take us and take us to places that we don't know, but we think is the greener pasture for our future.
Although modern slavery is still very much prevalent in Nigeria and the world at large, efforts to curb the issue in form of programs such as this aim to sensitize and create awareness for victims and people who knowingly and unknowingly commit the act. Nafisa Abdullah, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And on the international scene, following the Taliban's takeover of Afghanistan, Egypt's state-run media announced on Monday that more than 40 Egyptian nationals have been evacuated. A military jet transporting Egyptian civilians arrived in Cairo late Monday, according to the official MENA news agency. The flight brought home 43 evacuees, including the Egyptian embassy staff and clerics from the Al-Azhar, the Sunni Muslim world's foremost religious institution. State TV showed footage of the returnees with Egyptian flags after they had landed in Cairo. U.S. Food and Drug Administration on Monday approved Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine, a move expected to trigger a new wave of vaccine mandates as the Delta variant batters the country. Acting FDA Commissioner Janet Woodcock in a statement said the FDA's approval of the vaccine is a milestone as the country continues to battle the COVID-19 pandemic. The COVID vaccine, which may now be marketed under its brand name Community, is the first to receive full approval. Tens of thousands of shots have already been administered under an emergency use authorization that was granted on December 11, 2020. The vaccine remains available under emergency use authorization to children aged 12 to 15, but because it has now been fully approved, physicians may prescribe it to children under 12. And in sports, President Muhammadu Buhari has congratulated Nigerian athletes on their outstanding achievements at the just concluded World Athletics Under-20 Championships in Nairobi, Kenya. In a statement by his media aide, Femi Adesina, on Monday, Buhari commended the team and their handlers for showing that Nigeria is blessed with some of the best sporting talents who, by dint of hard work and perseverance, can dazzle anytime and anywhere. Nigeria won 4 gold and 3 bronze to finish third on the final medals table. President Muhammadu Buhari believes that the nation's sports ambassadors and the contingents have every reason to celebrate their well-deserved laurels, while putting the track and field world on notice of their intentions to surpass their achievements in the nearest future. He thanked the victorious athletes for flying the country's flag high at the competition, breaking new records for personal best, national and championship records. Well, that's it on News Updates. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Zainab Bala. Thank you for watching.